everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 652. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I'm Ari Rockefeller.
Mako-chan is off tonight since she didn't attend AAC, so she just gave us some news that y'all should know about, which we will discuss later in the show if we get to that. And that's just about it. Don't worry, she'll be back next week because the two of us will be discussing DerpyCon, which I believe is our final convention of the year. So that'll be fun all around. And it's a good thing I muted that input too.
What happened?
No, because you know how it is. I have a playlist going, and after I play the opening theme, I go in, unmute the mic, do the intro, pull up VLC, and just shut it off. And sometimes I will tend to forget to shut it off. So what I do now is I mute that output. So once everything is said and done, if it's going into the other stuff that's on the playlist, it won't be heard. Why did I think to do that before? Anywho, enough about that. Ari, how are you feeling tonight, my friend?
Friggin' tired from today.
I was a little tired, but more in the aspect of bored tired, because we finally have a new person working with us, and between that and the fact that it was kind of quiet at work, I was like, how quaint, you know? Anywho, just so you know, we're live tonight, week of October 22nd, 2024, right here on Twitch TV. You'll always find us here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget to follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And you can find them on Twitch at twitch.tv/vognetwork. They kick things off at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf Show on Sunday, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9. And then we kind of bring it to a close on Tuesdays with our show. And also, come hang out with us in our Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel, so come through, hang out with us, and say hi. And unlike other Discords, our pool is still open.
It won't be for long.
Oh, it's an indoor pool, so that makes it even better.
Oh, much better.
Yeah, I actually know somebody that actually has an indoor pool, and I went up, me and Mako.
At their home?
Yes! Me and Mako went to their place for New Year's years ago, and she shows me this. I was like,
God damn.
Exactly, because I know people that have a regular pool, and when I say I know somebody that has a pool, it's an outdoor pool, but an indoor pool, that really blew my mind. Anywho, enough about that. We're going to get into tonight's show. I know we started a little late because I was taking care of some last minute stuff behind the scenes. I want to make sure everything is just good and golden. No drop frames, no audio issues. I'm not trying to have an encore presentation of what happened last week. Nope, no siree. So, enough about that. Let's go ahead and kick things off. Outside of going to the con, Ari, how was your week? How was your day?
Well, my paycheck did clear this past weekend while I was at the con, so
Ching!
that was a lot more helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not exactly hurting for money at this point. Anyway, what I did learn is that some other financier company had bought my mortgage, so now after this month I'll be making a payment to a different lender rather than the one who actually got me the house to begin with. What do you call it? It's not going up or anything, thankfully. But
I didn't know they were allowed to do that, you know?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm still in the I didn't think I'd get this far kind of
Right. I totally get you on that. Totally did.
Let's see. Yeah, I had to get up early for work this morning, which I
Mm.
was not thrilled with.
Yeah,
But again, yep.
yeah, I know that feeling all too well.
But yeah, other than that, it's just like it's taking up most of my time.
Mm-hmm. So I could basically say the same thing. My weekend day has been pretty good. Basically, we did go to AAC, which is what this episode is about. But before that, work was pretty good, and speaking of getting up early, I have to sometimes get up at between 6:45 and 7 a.m. because there are 4 people in this house in one bathroom. Sometimes they may have a +1 with them, and there are times I get up at 7 and I can't get in until about 7:50 because somebody's already in there. Because I think I'm the only person in this house with like a steady 9 to 5 ish schedule or something. So that's quite all right. I'm used to it. I don't mind it, but it just sucks that I don't get to work till like 9:20 or something like that. Personally, as long as I'm there no later than say 5 after. That's the absolute latest I want to be at work. Unless there's some outlandish shit that happens, which I totally get. So that's basically been our weeks and days. So we're gonna get into some housekeeping for you. And don't forget our final con of the season, or in this case, the year is DerbyCon. You can find that at derbycon.com. It's October 25th to the 27th in New Brunswick, New Jersey. It's this weekend, so come through and hang out. I know they were doing a thing where if you book a room, you get a free badge, but I think they're done with that. So
They only have so many free badges to go around.
no, I just think the deal is done. But that too. So
First come, first serve.
yeah, something like that. So we have that going for you. So we're gonna have fun with that. So come through, hang out. It's our last con of the year, and we're gonna have some fun with that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Podcasting VOD. So don't forget, episodes of this podcast is available on YouTube. You can always find it live Thursdays at 12 noon. So definitely check that out. Again, if it's not up by 12 noon, that means I completely forgot, and it will be up by no later than 9 p.m. Thursday EST. So, but I'm trying to get into the habit of doing everything tonight, like all the rendering and all that stuff, so that maybe if I have time in the morning or when I get home from work, I can just immediately just upload and call it a day. Because I don't feel like bringing a tablet to go and remote in to upload, the remote into my computer and do the uploads. That's how we do it. And don't forget, Wisteria WT is doing Fans View Friday. I believe she is finally doing Animazement 98 this Friday. There's been some technical difficulties and delays, but she will have it up. You can find her at Twitch TV/WisteriaWT. And that's Fans View Friday. I think also the fact that the Internet Archive was hacked, so there were docs or something like this that caused some problems too. Leave the Internet Archive alone. They didn't do anything to you.
It's slowly coming back around.
That's good. And with me, and in regards slowly coming back around, I've been randomly trying to log in, trying to access my old YouTube page because I disconnected my personal email address from my Gmail, and I lost my YouTube page in my YouTube account in the process. And I'm going to try to log into it again because there's a legacy login that you can access. I think I remember like 2-3 more passwords. I'm going to give that a shot and see. So I'd rather not start up a new YouTube page, but if I do, so be it. All good. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to get into, did I not just do housekeeping? Oh, yeah, that is housekeeping. That's what I thought. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our life, like stuff that we've been working on that's geek related. So, all right, what do you have regarding Geek Roundtable outside the cons and this last week's con and so forth?
Yeah, I was gonna say not much. Like all the things I want to show off are all con related.
Okay, cool. As for me, the only thing Geek Roundtable related I could tell you is the fact that I watched more anime. I watched another episode of My Hero Academia dubbed. Um, I think that's the only anime I watched last week because I was so busy trying to get other stuff done. I didn't have time. Like normally during the summertime when shows are off air, I that's the perfect time I catch with anime. It's like I'll watch 2 episodes, then jump on the computer and start the show. I was about to do that tonight, but then I realized a brand new episode of NCIS was available, so I decided to watch that instead. Kind of keep my Tuesday routine intact, one way or another. Whew. Excuse me, sorry about that. But other than that, that's been it. Also, regarding Geek Roundtable, something geek related today is, like I said the week of October 22nd. Today is October 22nd. It is Minako Aino's birthday. So happy birthday to my favorite Sailor Senshi in the world, Sailor Venus. And I didn't realize that till after the fact that I had left the house because I would have worn my Venus shirt today, but I'll wear it tomorrow. But right now, if you're participating on stream, I am wearing my yellow Sailor Venus shirt that says Pretty Guardian Trainer Venus. And it's Sailor Venus surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4 different Pokemons. Unfortunately, I do not know the names of all of them, except for one. I believe she has a Persian and with her, so which does make sense because you gotta have a cat to represent. All right, enough about that. Let's go ahead and talk about the con. All right, I forgot to pull up my soundboard. Let me grab that real quick. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't tie that to my streamer as a button, but you know, it is what it is. Sound effects. Go. Too loud?
No. It's just doing like the versus splash screen pose.
Oh yeah, definitely. Which reminds me, I can't wait till Capcom Fighting Collection 2 drops just so I can play Project Justice. I don't care about online play. I just want to play the fucking game. I am not one of those. I'd be damned if I'm gonna. Well, I am not one of those who buys games just to play online 9 times out of 10. If I play online, it's with people I know. So, you know, that's how I am. But enough about that. So, anywho, we're going to spend basically the next 45 minutes or so talking about AAC, the things that we liked, the things that we saw, and our final thoughts about it. We're going to go back and forth and tell each of you about our experiences and thoughts afterwards. So, Ari can kick things off with day 0, which basically not too much happened, but besides the drive going up and the shitty traffic we had to endure getting up there.
Yeah, I tried to get out as early as I could because you know I wanted to arrive at the con by nightfall.
Right.
Lol. Yeah, I got up to I got to Cinna's place easily enough. They were all glad to see me there. That's all they know me from is just popping up to pick her up and drive her up to the con or wherever we're going. And then you know I got to your place. I got there a little later than I wanted to, which okay, that was a little bit on me for you know getting up there. But you know once I found the place, it was time to go, and oh boy, I don't know what my GPS was doing, but it sent me all the way, like all throughout every last fucking side street through. You're still in Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
Through Brooklyn, and with all the traffic elsewhere, we lost at least an hour just sitting in traffic, just trying to get out of the city.
All right, so here's the thing for those of you who don't know. Again, yes, you heard stories of my move and so forth, but I'm still in Brooklyn. I am closer to JFK Airport area, but normally where I used to live, when I was closer to Coney Island, all you had to do was take the Belt Parkway and get off at a certain exit and just come through and grab me. We would go back that same way, get back onto the belt, and make our way to the Jackie Robinson Whitestone and go all the way up. Where I am now, Google Maps was basically trying to zigzag shortcut us to the Jackie Robinson, which was just a pain in the ass about it. Now, coming back, it kind of did the same thing, except that the zigzagging was more precise. Because I could tell you this now.
It wasn't nearly as bad.
Yeah, we didn't return the same way we left. And what's interesting is from where I live, if you go onto the main street and make a right and just take it out a good 20 minutes, it'll put you on the belt and just keep you going. I understand what I was trying to do, but honestly, I would have rather spent that hour driving as opposed to being stuck in traffic.
Obviously.
Yeah. And normally, I think only once we arrived at like 11 o'clock at night, because I think at that time I was still working on a Thursdays and we would just go right afterwards, which is understandable.
And was it the one time when there was just a massive blizzard and it took me like 12 hours to get up there?
Yeah, because I believe I took the train up that day because you still had to work. And I remember I had left the door open, for you. And, one thing I liked about that, the hotel, the guy that worked the bar allowed me to take my beer back to the hotel room, which was cool. And I appreciate that. I think once we got there between 5 and 6 o'clock. Once we did. I think this had to be like 2018, 2019, around that time. So
yeah, quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we got up there.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally pull up. I'm like, okay, great. Like, hey, look, I see a bellhop cart.
Yoink.
And
now, where the hotel is the Westford Regency Hotel and Conference Center. This is the only place I know where they have a giant tent in front, and it's part of the hotel, which I think is really cool. I like that. I think one year they actually had the masquerade in the tent. I think they did one year, but it's more of a quaint. It's more like it has like a bit of an old school bed and breakfast style to it, and we stayed up on the 4th floor, and most people were surprised, and they said, "There's a 4th floor." Yeah,
because only one of the elevators goes up to it.
Yep.
And you have to hit the 4 button on in the lobby to get to it.
And usually it's easier when you're on the 4th floor. Just go down the stairs to the 3rd floor and just wait for an elevator. Or if you're heading towards the dealer's hall, you go down that way and there's a set of stairs that takes you directly to the 1st floor anyway.
But Cinna came through for us and she got us a room right by the elevators. That's what she told us. I just wasn't aware that was going to be on the 4th floor because, oh god damn, those rooms were nice.
Yeah, and it was huge. Huge rooms. I hung out with people below us, and their rooms weren't as big as ours. I was like, wow. So we took care of that. Basically, Thursday was just us getting up there, getting some basic food and drink supplies, getting dinner, and just kind of relaxing and just preparing for, the next 3 days that are ahead. Now, one thing I like about AAC is the fact that it is a smaller convention. You don't have to mentally prepare to deal with thousands of weebs. Hundreds, sure. Thousands, no.
I did like the presentation that my friend Scott Luigi gave on.
Yeah, he was doing a Baldur's Gate 3 panel about the characters in Baldur's Gate. Panel. I gotta adjust it so that there we go, because of the angle of the webcam. Panel about Baldur's Gate 3 and the type of music the characters listen to. And
and like the fuck too.
Exactly. Now, my friend Dev, they like to cosplay Astarion. Or some people like to say Astarion. So I sent them a couple of pictures from the panel. And one was regarding Astarion, better known as a Twink Pyre. Asaria likes is big into new wave and dark wave, staple of the Baldur's Gate club scene, is really into two-tone ska, hates Morrissey, and good friends with Robert Smith. And his fuck song is Tainted Love by Soft Cell. And once worked with Peter Murphy. Now,
and it was a panel derived from Nerd Fit or Massive Hitbox or whatever they call themselves, but
yeah, but
sadly couldn't be there this weekend.
I ain't surprised by it. I mean, really, I'm not. Now, I screenshotted another thing from the PowerPoint presentation and sent it to my friend Dev because it's connected to Astarion, and I'll read this over and we can continue along. It's about Will, who has daddy issues. Healthy mix of emo, pop punk, and new metal. Linkin Park is life. Goes to Warp Tour every year. Smart enough to know emo is not goth. Occasionally joins Astarion and Minthy at the goth club, but doesn't vibe it as well. And their fuck music is basically anything by Sleep Token. Secretly appreciates Alanis Morissette and the Goo Goo Dolls and 90s soft rock thanks to his mom. I actually like 80s soft rock too, but that's just me personally. He doesn't want the world to see him, just wants you to know who he is. So I thought that was kind of cool. And Bond06 is asking about my comment about large and small conventions. Is this about the Jacob Javits Center? Yes and no. It's not just the Javits Center. I'm talking about the convention center for Otakon. Like just large conventions in general. It's just something I just can't do anymore. And Bond06 goes, why did he do Will like that? I don't know. Go talk to Scaluigi. He'll tell you. And that was basically it. It was just a very chill Thursday. I believe there was some karaoke going on. I know for the last couple of AACs, there's always like a Thursday night event. Like they'll have a video room open where they'll show some anime or something like that, which was kind of cool. But most of the time we were just chilling, lounging about in the lobby, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
also, someone down there had watermelon gummies that have been soaked in various kinds of alcohol over the course of a week.
Oh, that would be DL. That's his specialty.
Mm-hmm. He just comes up to me like, here, try these. Like, what are these? Like watermelon I soaked them in watermelon vodka. I think Everclear was one of them, and I forget the others. But
Well,
like
here,
a shot, like,
well,
goddamn, not
here,
bad.
well, here's the thing. He had them soaking in 3 different alcohols for 3 days, and then he put them all in Everclear for the last 3 days.
I mean, it had a little kick. It wasn't getting me fucked up or anything, which is something I haven't done in a long time. But that's there.
Well, the man has his craft. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now that we got that away, basically day zero was just us, just relaxing, having a good time. Now, there are some cons we will do day zero for, which is perfect. That gives us time to get to the convention, unwind, and just kind of get things done, per se. And that's all we really care about. We just want to make sure things get done. That's what we want. Kind of unwind, kind of mentally prepare for the next 3 days. So that was our day zero. Now, day one, which is Friday, that's the start of the con itself, and we have some interesting things that happen on Friday. So, I need to tell them. Wait, before we get into Friday, one thing that happened on the ride up, I happened to check the Facebook group.
Oh, this discussion.
Yes.
Oh, they gotta hear this.
Oh, yes, they do. Okay, so some idiot on the Facebook group makes a post talking about how terrible the security is at the convention because they were able to sneak into the convention, go into the dealer's room, and come out. and mostly because they left their badge at home. Now, it's one thing we talk about, look, I had issues with the security, this was going on, as opposed to talking about how terrible the security is and taking a cheap shot at the convention. So basically, 99% of the people who responded told them, so why would you rat yourself out? You're an idiot. Oh, they dragged this poor child, and rightfully so. One person said that this person said that COVID was kept calling COVID the Wuhan flu and blamed it on their autism.
Which you can't do. Either of those things.
Here's the thing. If you're going to sit here and blame your antics on autism,
people are going to stop hanging out with you.
Right. You know what you blame that on? Poor home training. Your parents did not raise you right, nor did they give a shit about you.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody just dragged this poor child and called her out for her stupidity. And this child talking about they're going to go to Mexico where things are better and this and that and that and this. And I know one thing I said was, if you go to Mexico, promise not to come back.
Like, this isn't an airport. You don't have to announce your departure.
Exactly. I had an issue like that in one of the Ranma 1/2 groups. I just said what I had to say, like, this is reprehensible, and I just bounced out. That's it. So, one person...
That was a recurring theme of nerds gummy clusters throughout the weekend, too.
But that was related to that.
Oh, yeah.
Because she went and posted on her private Facebook. Now, it's not really private when it's a public post. Only 2 people agreed with her echo chamber, which I could give a damn about. And that's where the whole aspect of everybody walking around with nerds gummy clusters were all weekend. Because this person kept calling AAC McKenna-con. Now, I believe the guy's name is Andrew. Andrew McKenna, I knew of him for about 10 years. Because I knew of him in passing through other people. I finally more or less met the guy last year when he announced that he was getting married. So, there's our Ska Luigi.
Ska!
There you go.
Good to see you.
Showing us some love. So, I actually meet till last year, and I hung out with him briefly this year. He's a cool dude. Yes, he runs a lot of panels at AAC. That's because that's something he likes to do. Every convention more or less has like that one person, that one group that runs a bulk of panels and stuff. I look at it this way: if you have an issue with just one person running all of the panels at the convention, why don't you run some your own damn self? How hard is that? I mean, can't be easy, can't be, but I'm just saying, just do that. Christ. Anywho, there's one person, a con dad, quote unquote, says that tells this person that if there's any problems or issues and you feel uncomfortable being at this convention, please, by all means, reach out to me. Now, here's something for some of you in case you haven't heard or know. I too am a con dad. I take care of my con kids like if they're my own. But I will not coddle them and I will not be like overprotective of them. Now, I asked this guy, from one con dad to another, explain this. What is going on here? Where do you get this from? And their answer is just piss poor ignorance. And he's coming off as a creeper. He's coming off as a simp. He's coming off as a white knight. I'm just like, no, absolutely fucking not. So, Anyhow, that turns into a cluster F because a couple of you actually came up to defend this guy, told him he's a really nice person. Yeah, no. Nice guys. Yeah, that's a nice guy tactic. I am a con dad. I would not have rolled out my services like that. No. It's one thing if this person made a post, and they were kind of worried for their life or this or that. Yes. Like, for example, another friend of mine got upset about something, and I called her. She told me that someone who hurt her was at the con and didn't feel safe. And I straight up said, if you need anything, I got you. That Saturday, I'm in the back area, hanging out, having a drink, talking to a couple of people. She comes out saying she saw that person in the panel room. So instead of making a big scene out of it, I just walked with her inside there just to protect her, you know? So that's all it is. And that's what con dads do. We only offer our services when time is needed, you know? So.
Hmm.
And as Bond 006 says to me about just run a panel yourself, check notes, it's not that hard. It really isn't. Running a panel can be very difficult based on how the degree of what you want to do. Like if you want to have a lot of slides and music and this and that, or you can just hook up your laptop, run a PowerPoint presentation, 10 screens, this, and that done, you know.
It's a bad place to be if you have social anxiety and dread speaking in public.
Yeah, what I get. Now, that was basically the one part of Thursday I wanted to put up. Now, I brought that because that was like the highlight of our Thursday because the drive was just so, ugh, you know? So, anywho, let's get into Friday and we'll tell you about our Fridays. So, here we go. Ari, kick off Friday. Tell us what you did.
Well, we all got breakfast together that morning. That was nice.
And I realized I can't have hotel breakfast.
They're not good. They're not that good.
It comes back to me.
Enough said. So let's see. My panels were all over the place. I did have them, you know, saved on my phone under the reminders. So the first one I went to was AAC Name and Sing That Tune, which is pretty much he like what he would do is he would play bits of either a song, like a theme song, an image song, or a specific
backing track. Okay,
specific background track. And if you were able to identify it, you get points based on the difficulty.
nice. Did they use like an app to keep track of points, or you just got?
Nope, it was just on the computer.
Okay.
And you know, I didn't think I did all that good, but I ended up getting like second. And what they did with the prizes is they would give you these little vouchers, and you would go. That's like level 1, level 2, level 3, and then you would go over to the dealer's room in the I guess the like staffers little lounge or wherever. They they have these shelves with all sorts of stuff laid out that you can pick out.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I got one. It's like, yeah, it's right over here, like the red area. And there was a lot of things like bags and like charms and whatnot. Like I don't use I can't or don't use any of these. So with my first thing I won, I ended up picking up this.
Nice.
Your Forger figurine. I didn't recognize anyone else there and just thought, yeah, I know who she is, and she's pretty, so there you go.
The thing was, I was thinking about that. I was like, I was hoping that you remembered to pack your Forger because that Sunday I did go back to the room to double check everything, and everything was taken out and pulled, which was great. I just wanted to make sure, you know.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's see what else. Yeah, most of the day I was like wandering around and kind of sort of aimlessly. It did kind of hurt to walk around for too long.
Okay, I totally get that. I mean,
and it's sad to say the pool area was closed.
Yeah, they're renovating it. Was it also closed last year?
No, it was open last year.
Okay, all right.
But I wasn't sure if there were like legitimately, repairing it, or they're just saying it was closed to keep the con chicanery out of it.
But the actual,
I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Zenkai.
No, well, at least with this one, at least it was actual like paperwork from the city on the door. That work was being done
on the inside of the windows.
So what was on the inside of the windows?
plastic tarps covering the window
Yeah.
so you couldn't look in.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, maybe the next time, maybe we're gonna go back next year, it'll be finished.
That'll be good.
Like I packed my swimsuit and everything for nothing.
Mm. Oh well.
What can I say? I like going for a swim.
Yeah,
Relaxing.
that's good.
And let's see what else.
Yeah,
The
what's
next.
I'm just glad they have last year's schedule back up because because I'm about paper schedules for the most part. I like to circle the panels I've attended to so I know what's going on, as opposed to remembering it off the top of my head. So
Mm-hmm. Or sticking the what do you call it? Like sticking reminders to or appointments to go to the separate panels.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see. What was the next one I went to? Here we go. It's called "This Panel Sure is Wacky,"
Okay.
and well, fuck me.
What?
I honestly completely forgot what the hell was going on at that panel. I mean, I wasn't on any kind of substance or drunk or whatever. I just
But
I'm just trying to recall this panel.
sometimes some panels is like a blur because it wasn't that interesting or nothing really stuck out about it, but you were there.
Yeah. Even I'm looking at the description. I'm like, wait, this isn't telling me anything. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To go back to that name that tune one, I think I wanted to go to that panel, but I had to go do something else. I like going to those types of panels because I probably know some of the answers. So yeah.
I got more than my share of them. I just wasn't all that thrilled about having to go up there and sing.
Oh, you had to sing.
I tried to back out of it because I was almost like panicking because I'm not very good to look at, and with cameras
Right.
around, I'm like,
Mm-hmm. You just got
plus,
you have to channel your inner Steven Stills.
plus, it might have irrevocably ruined a song for me that I liked, and that was something I really didn't want to do.
I completely understand, friendo, but I'm proud of you for getting up there and doing it.
And okay, those were the two main panels I went to
Mm-hmm.
on Friday. The rest of it was just wandering around, occasionally going out to get food
Yeah.
somewhere. And when I did that, I'm like, oh, fuck, I should have just taken an Uber over there because I had a primo parking spot right in front of that old barn. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm like, oh god damn it! I gotta wheel all the way around the premises to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the game room was the same as it was. So
I will say this much about AAC. If
mhm.
you like cons that have a lot of game shows, this is definitely one for you, straight up.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Now, I was going to go to the voice acting Q&A Jamboree panel hosted by Chris Kaysen, but only me and another person showed up, so it got canceled.
That ain't good.
So I went to another panel called How Cosplay Ruined Our Lives. Now, before you freak out, it's a more of an endearing term of the positives that cosplay has brought you and some of the dangers cosplay has brought you. Like when you're working on your cosplays, to be careful with the materials that you use or to properly space out your time for your making your cosplays, and how to have a work-life balance with cosplay and so forth. And so everybody thinking work-life balance? All right. If you've seen armor cosplays or fur cosplays, don't think for a second that took a weekend to do. Or if you see someone cosplaying as Sailor Moon and you realize this is not a bought cosplay, don't assume they knocked out in a weekend to do it. No. I have seen my old roommate knock out a Pinkie Pie cosplay in under 3-4 hours, but then again, all it was just a circle dress of sorts, and she just painted on the cutie mark, and that was it. Simple and straightforward to the point. And I went to that panel, and that was fun. I really enjoyed that. It's basically a bunch of friends talking about the cosplays they've done, like the ups and downs of cosplay, the positive, the negatives, what they did, what they didn't do, and things to look out for, how to take care of yourself, and so forth, you know? And if you
Hmm.
want to know more about them, I don't have their card handy because it's in a bag over in the corner, but I have their website, quote unquote, and I say quote unquote because it's not a website that they have. They actually have like a link tree, and they're known as the New England Cosplay Collective. And they do a podcast just like us, I believe, on Sundays. So you want to know more? You want to hear more about cosplays? You check them out. Then come join us on the VOG Network with Bobby Blackwolf and Orange Lounge Radio. So
Hmm.
that was a fun panel. See, after that, I basically just took my time and I walked around doing my photography. I didn't quickly do things. I just shuffled along and just enjoyed myself, taking some great photos and just relaxing. And that I was good with. Now, normally we tape like the dating games and stuff, but we didn't do that this year. So, what panel did I have you record on Friday? Was it Whose Line?
Yeah, the Whose
Okay,
Line is it? Not the Whose Line, the match game.
match game. So we have match game. How was match game?
Uh, it was okay. I
All right.
mean, like the tone was all over the place, even for a match game panel.
Mm-hmm.
And like I had said in our chat, oh, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
I said like this is going back and forth between this is amazing and total dumpster fire, and like so fast it's giving me goddamn whiplash.
Well, it sounds like mass game. It sounds like mass game 78 all over again.
Yeah, match game is like that.
So after that, I went back to the room and I changed into my Lloyd Forger, and I went to the mask ball. Now I keep forgetting that a lot of conventions when they have like the formal balls and stuff, you have to be in a full suit, this or that. AAC does things differently. You can just show up as you are. It's like a high school dance of sorts, which is kind of fun. And I got some photos there, and it was great, and it was fun. And those pictures will be up soon. And I will have to say, the lighting there was pretty good. So I went back to my room, changed into Black Jesus, and I went to Card Sharks. And that was fun. Normally, when it comes to like anime game shows and so forth, it's far and few that I will compete because I just like enjoy being in the audience. But this time, I decided to jump in and play Card Sharks, and I won. I think I hit the big money. I did the money cards, and I think I walked away with like a little bit old, like almost with $200,000. That was great. It was really fun. I mean, it's really fun when you get up there and you're doing this game show and you get that real feel like you are on TV on CBS or NBC or whatever. It's purely enjoyable. So I'm about that. So I had fun with it. I have to reach out to the host so they can send me my prize, and can't wait to see what it is. And that was basically Friday. If you're wondering about what dinner was, it was this grill that opened up down the way, and I got a pulled pork grilled cheese sandwich. It was nice. It was no, not. It was a pulled pork brisket sandwich with au jus. It was okay. It was, I think it was $5 too pricey, but it was still a good sandwich.
Hmm.
And that was basically our Fridays. So far, I was able to hit up a couple of panels, talk to people, get some cosplay photos in, dance, and have a good time so far. So now we will get into Saturday. It did. Let's go ahead and drop in that sound effect. There we go. All right, Ari, tell them about how did your Saturday go?
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. You know, it was another slow start that morning. I was
Mm-hmm.
just, well, I say slow start, but the first panel was at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It was Richie's hard 8 and 16-bit video game quiz.
Mm.
And there were only a handful of people up that morning, and I was one of the contestants. So it was like, similar, like, we didn't have to sing. All we had to do was just, guess
Right.
the game and the name of the track that it was from.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was doing, like, I did pretty good. I mean, there was three of us, and it was pretty much a two-horse race by the end because one guy seemed to like giving up completely. Uh, but I still ended up winning in the end. And one of the prizes they had to pick was this Disgaea stuff.
Yeah, this guy is pretty good. I have a couple of friends who are into it.
hmm I didn't recognize, like, I wasn't too familiar with the other two fandoms of stuff they offered, so I just went with that. It seemed simple enough. And you know, actually later on that morning, I went to this place. I went to this workshop called
Mm-hmm.
Piles of Tiles.
Yeah.
So what happened was, the very art these the panel runners, this very arts and crafts type. They they had like tiles left over, like ceramic tiles for like flooring or like pools or whatever. Just
Yeah.
simple like square tiles, like a couple inches, like 2 maybe 3 inches
Mm-hmm.
on each side. And they also had like little half-inch tiles, which you would would turn into a magnet. You just put a little magnetic sticker on the back, and there you go.
All right, that's cool.
Like the bigger ones, it was just, hey, you can use this like a coaster or something. Had to do two of them because the first one, after I had done my design, I had put the Mod Podge on, which is like for sealing up the paint markers, so that it wouldn't run.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up just like just taking all the marker off of it and ruining it. So I did a second one, and this is what I wound up with.
That is nice. That's pretty cool, dude.
Mm-hmm. It's just a white ceramic tile with my monogram on it,
There you go.
and I had to be very careful packing that up when we leave because I didn't want it to get broken.
No, I totally get that. Oh, there was a panel here called "Relationships, Dating, and Marriage." Oh my. Oh, I could have thrown. I could have contributed so much to that, but maybe next year if there's another one.
You said you went to the masquerade, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get that in just a bit. So no, I'm just looking at my list because I had went to now right next door to us is the cosplay lip sync battle. Now, for those of you who don't know, there is one person that I know personally that created the whole cosplay lip sync battle, cosplay for your life, and his
Mm-hmm.
name is Jez Roth, a basically a world famous cosplayer, costumer, teacher. He runs a school on cosplay in Vegas, which is basically a really awesome classes on sewing and materials and everything you need to know to be a cosplayer, which is great. He started that whole the cosplay for your battle. He did that started years ago. So whenever you see a con that does the cosplay lip sync battle, you could thank him for it because he is the originator of that. So I didn't go to that because it was 2 hours. I was in the other room with a panel with Chris Kaysen and Oscar Sung called "Combine Two Minds in Anime," and it just turned out to be like a really nice two-person Q&A session, which was great. And we were asking them questions. I asked them like, "What was your favorite foods?" or "What are you doing? What are you doing during your free time? Like, what games are you playing, or what books are you reading?" That type of cool shit. But there was a complete guest Q&A panel, which we do have recorded, and we will have that up on our website much later. Now, the Masquerade. They have this pinged from 7 to 10 o'clock. I just want you to know this shit was done by 9 o'clock, and to the entire AAC cosplay staff, thank fucking you. Thank you. Because seriously, a masquerade should not be no more than 2 hours. That includes the skits, the walk-ons, the judging, and the awards. Look, because I'll be real with y'all. So, getting up on stage to perform is a great and amazing feeling. But for some people, after a while, it's like, just get it over with. You know, this is not like a 3-hour award ceremony. This is not the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
We had a nice blend of comedic skits, media skits, and so forth. One of my favorite skits that was done by my friend Pepper. Her and her brother did Delicious in Dungeon. Marcel had her cooking show and doing a cooking recipe on as a skit. That was amazing. Now, I watched Delicious in Dungeon. I thought it was a great anime. But from watching this skit, I realized Marcel cooks worse than Akane Tendo. And that should be telling you something. There was this amazing Princess Bowsette cosplayer who won an award because her cosplay, she did something that other Bowsette cosplayers haven't done. She had scaling in her cosplay, like lizard scaling, and it was a type of. And she told me that she did her research that Bowser is an alligator snapping turtle, and used that pattern and that style of scaling for her cosplay. That's like, yes, that was amazing. Now, granted, from where I was sitting, the photos were kind of okay because I had to time my shots so that you wouldn't see people's heads in the background. But the video was great. I got that. That's not a problem. So, and that's the type of masquerades I like, where you have a little bit of everything. It's not 99% dancing, 99% singing, 99% comedy. It's a little bit of everything. And it was great. Now, what they used to do was they would announce the entries by genres, and then they would do all the anime skits, and they would do like the mixed media skits. They don't do that anymore. They just throw them all in, and they just run them right behind each other, which is great. So, I would like to say kudos to the masquerade, kudos to the cosplayers who competed, and kudos to the staff that ran it. Y'all ran a tight ship, and as somebody who's been going to conventions for 20 years, someone who has competed in masquerades for 15 years, this was great, and I loved it. Thank you. I mean, besides, y'all didn't give a best in show award to a group that bought their cosplays.
Ouch.
Yeah. And so, one thing that's different from AAC, I want to get into this now since we've covered both days. Typically nowadays, a lot of conventions will have 2 dances, a Friday and a Saturday night. It used to be where cons would only have like the Saturday night dance, and it was no DJ, it was just somebody up there playing remix anime tracks that they found, and people would just show up, dance, and have a good time. That's all it was. Now, AAC hasn't done a dance in quite a while, but what's cool is around 9 o'clock, the hotel will roll out a cart, a cash bar, if you will. Now, I tend to call that back area the red light district. Now, here's the reason why. It's all 18 plus panels by that time. By 11 o'clock at night, it's nothing but 18 plus back there. So you go back there, you go to an 18 plus panel, you buy a drink, and you enjoy yourself. And that's why I like that. That's what I really like. It's like everything's still open, but back there's like it's for the adults. It's where the adults can be. Also, what was interesting is the fact that there were a couple of 18 plus panels running throughout the day too, which I think is good. You know, little spice during the day is pretty nice. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, we're getting a lot of positive reactions about the lip sync battle.
Yeah, the Scott Luigi Picking Up says it's one of his favorite events to be part of the lip sync battle. Well, I will do it this way. If it's not during something else next year, I'll definitely sit down and check it out. I would love to.
I still remember filming one of them a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Remember friggin' Kyle Haybear running up and just mean mugging the camera, and I'm trying so hard not to bust out laughing.
Oh right, yes. Wasn't Michelle Knotts there too?
Yep.
Oh yes. I have to dig that up. It's on our YouTube page. I have to dig that up and post that. And I believe I still have the original video. If not, I'll just pull it from our YouTube page and upload it to our Facebook, you know. So
yeah.
that will definitely be fun.
I have the link right here actually.
All right, yep. Just send the link over Messenger because I'm not really dealing with Skype at the moment.
I will post it in the chat for everyone to look at.
Oh, even better. But make sure you ping me the link as well. I have to do a scan on those hard drives again, see if I can do another data recovery on it. I'm probably gonna wait till winter, like when I'm out when I'm on break from work. You know, probably then. We made it this far and no dropouts. We're good. So last week's issues with the stream was just an anomaly from a FiOS anomaly. That's all. Scott Luigi says, I was a backup this year, but fingers crossed next year I'll be in. You better be in, and you better make it work, honey. we love the Scott Luigi picking up here on Anime Jam Session.
Oh, when I close out the night by going to the Press Your Luck panel, the first game, this like mousy little, I think she might have been 17 years old or whatever. Was not doing much at first, but ended up winning it all. So
I ran into the host that runs that, and he said that they went over $1 million.
No, yeah. That must have been one of the later games.
Game 2. Game 2. It went over $1 million, and I thought that was really cool. That was great.
Yeah, because I was just too tired and you know, in a lot of pain to just sit there.
I totally get that.
Oh, well, maybe next year or whenever I see him again, I'll get up there.
Yep. All right, now Sunday. Now normally because of the drive for us on Sunday, we don't really stick around per se unless it's a really good panel. Like last year, I think we stayed until like 3 for a very good panel about depression and suicide and so forth. It was a really amazing panel. That was great. I did pop into cosplay chess for a bit, so let's go ahead and kick things over to day 3. All right. I know I started a little bit, but as always, Ari, how was your Sunday of the con?
Tiresome. Like I was just, completely out of gas, and I just wanted to, go home because I still had work to think about in the morning.
Got you.
And the drive back wasn't as bad, though. We did run into even more traffic going into New York City.
Of course.
One day I will I will go up to New England and get back to New York City before Nightball, but it will not be but it was not this year.
Maybe next year, if we time it right, we'll stay until Monday and just drive and just leave on Monday.
Cinna had that same thought when I was taking her home.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, I don't know if she told you about that or not.
But... No, we kind of talked about that. Well, here's the thing. Zenkai and AAC would be the only 2 cons I have no problem staying till Monday for. person.
Zenkai's not that bad for me. It's like an hour
Right.
and a half away.
Right. But for me, because of all the stuff that I have to take back, I will basically crash at Mako's and leave Monday afternoon. So
Hmm.
that's what I will do.
Yeah, so something to think about next year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just biting the bullet and staying for Monday.
Yeah.
And hopefully I will not have squandered all my time off and sick days. You know, by this time next year.
Yeah, I am lucky because with my job I have unlimited PTO, and it some people say that's a thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's a thing.
But yeah, I ended up getting home around like uh, say like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that was good because you got me back here by 7. Because normally lately I don't get back till between 8 or 9. I think one time I didn't get he didn't drop me up to like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough weekend for all of us.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh shit, a raid.
It's from Barry Mellon, also a guest host on Anime Jam Session. They were streaming tonight, so
Hooray!
it's a Barry Mellon raid. Hide your juice. Bold of you to assume that I am drinking juice there.
I could use something to drink myself. But sadly,
That's why I hydrate.
everything else is downstairs, and I don't feel like going down to get it.
Well, Barry Mellon is telling us to hydrate with us. We're such degenerates, so I hydrated. You saw me drink the last of the water out of my LTT water bottle. I have to remember to refill it on Monday and throw it in the fridge.
So yeah, overall, I liked the con. It was fun hanging out that weekend. We just the drive back has to be managed a little better.
Yes. Now, Sunday for me, I stopped in on Cosplay Chest for a little bit and got some photos. Ran into some people, and it was cool. And that was basically it. I didn't stay for the whole thing, but I just for a bit, and that was great, and I had a fun time with that. There were some panels there that I was interested in, but because of the time, we had to go. Like, there was a panel about LGBTQ plus equality in anime and video games. That would have been something I would have liked to have checked out. Storytelling Myth of Japan. That also sounds pretty cool. Hero or Villain, a panel run by Bryn April, who's also a guest at AAC this year. She is a real sweetheart. We have an interview with her, and that will be going up on our YouTube page. So overall, now here at Anime Jam Session, we love our small to medium conventions. We don't do the large cons like we used to because it's a little bit too much. Now, I like the fact that you can go to AAC. You can grab a bite to eat, check out a panel, hang out with friends, take pictures, do a photo shoot, and play video games, and not feel like you're missing something. Or if you realize if you missed a panel, it is not the end of the world. There are some cons where it's so huge, you have to decide which one you want to do, and you'll regret if you don't do this or that. One of my complaints was going to be originally there was a lack of signage. Now, I'm not talking about signs of locations, but the panel rooms, like what events were going on in the panel rooms. They had them up Saturday, so that was great. And I like that because, to be perfectly honest, not everybody will use an app or pull out a piece of paper or look at a website with everything. If you just go over to the panel, like, this is what's going on here. Great. Awesome. That's what's really cool about that. Honestly, the only gripe I have about the con is the trek time. How long it takes us to get up there. That's all it is. I can't think of any other thing that's really bad about the con. So, what are your thoughts on the con, Ari?
Like I said, I enjoy going to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. The scenery going up there is, nice to look at. But like I said, we just have to be better at you know, getting home at a decent time.
Yeah. And also, AAC is a type of con where you will leave with more friends you came in with.
Uh
And
huh.
that's great. And yes, there were room parties, but they were really good. These are not the type of room parties where people will get drunk and rowdy and stuff like that. The guy who ran the party made sure everything was on check. And if you got out of line, you were ejected. So
Hmm.
next year, he's going to rent a suite. And I've seen those rooms. Those rooms are huge. I hope he.
Something else to think about, something else to think about for next year.
Well, yeah. That's usually they're on the first floor, but those are a little bit more pricey. But if that's what you want, if that's what we should do for next year, then I'm all for it. I'll just have to do a little bit of research. Usually, the downside is suites are usually not part of the room block,
Mm.
and sometimes you have to contact the hotel liaison and find out if they can get you a room, if you can get a suite in the room block.
Something to think about for
Yeah,
next year.
definitely. So
Mm.
we've been going to AAC for about 10 years now, and we've never really had anything bad to say about the con. And if we have, we always say this is what we didn't like, but here's a positive. But right now, for the both of us, we're in agreement. The only downside to the con is it's a schlep going up to Massachusetts, but it's well worth it for us. You have to understand something. They're driving further up than we are, than I am. So.
Hmm.
And that's our review of another anime con. It was great. We'll hope to see. We will hope to be back next year, definitely. And now we're going to get into cutting room floor. This is just basically a couple of articles that didn't hit the outline, but things that you kind of should know. One is that we talked about a studio doing generative AI for Japanese voice actors, but it seems that Japanese voice actors are pushing back. They are speaking out against unauthorized generative AI. Good, glad.
That's what.
I'm
Is that one
happy
of
to hear
the
that.
Meanwhile in Japan icons? I mean, articles.
Hold on, is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, you know what? I see what happened. I thought I had something for cutting room floor. I didn't even put articles for cutting room floor. So we'll save that. We'll save that. Let me pull up the article, the outline anyway. Okay, we have this for cutting room floor, and then we'll get into everything else. Like, Lupin the Third movie adds IMAX screenings for the anniversary showing, which is great. Hiro Mashima confesses that Fairy Tail was born out of his loneliness. Okay. Let's see. The Gundam franchise plans major work annually to kickstart the anniversary, which is great. And after a 2-year break, the Galaxy Express manga is going to resume. I believe this one's called Galaxy Express 999 Another Story Ultimate Journey. That is really good. All right. Now we can get into Meanwhile in Japan. And guess since I started, I guess I will talk about the generative AI story. So sorry about that, y'all.
No, it's perfectly relevant.
Yeah, I mean, no, the aspect of jumping the gun like that.
Oh.
I just want to check my volumes. Okay. So let's minimize this. All right. So as I say, Meanwhile in Japan, this is the part of the show where we talk more about the interesting things in Japan, stuff that you should know. So one of the things you should know about are Japanese voice actors that are speaking out against unauthorized generative AI. Good. Glad. I am happy to hear that. So this week, Koichi Yamadera, the voice of Cowboy Bebop Spike Spiegel, also the voice of Ryoga Hibiki in the original Ranma one half, Romy Pak, voices Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist, and Ryusei Nakao, who is the voice of Frieza in Dragon Ball, along with 23 other prominent voice actors and actresses, announced a new project that they're collaborating on. If you think that sounds like a way too large of a cast for an initial cast reveal for a new anime project, you're right, because they weren't announcing a new animated TV series or a theatrical feature, but a collective stance against unauthorized use of performers' voices by generative AI. The awareness project, which is called No More Unauthorized Generative AI, or No More Mudan Seisei AI in Japanese, have posted a video to its YouTube channel with Nakao making the opening statement. Someone was selling my voice without permission. I was shocked. Our voices are our livelihoods. They are our lives. Please listen to how it makes us as voice actors feel when our voices are used without permission for generative AI, says Nakao, followed by the 26 members of the project shouting in unison, No more unauthorized generative AI. Those feelings are expanded upon in a press release from the group that says, readings and songs that we have no memory of recording, our voices themselves, have been uploaded to the internet and sometimes being offered for sale. Our voices are our livelihoods. They are our lives, an important part of who we are that we have grown up with. Even if these uploads are coming from fans who want to hear more of our voices, it brings us no joy for our voices to be used without permission. New technologies are likely to bestow great benefits upon humanity in the future, but at the same time, we want all of us together to broaden our perspective to consider each other's feelings, what kind of a culture that future will have, and discuss how these technologies will be used. We have created this video as a way to start the process. Rather than hurtful words and retaliation, we hope to create cultural rules throughout peaceful discussions with the involvement of experts in order to see eye to eye to protect the fertile soil in which good works can be created in the next 10, the next 20 years. No More Unauthorized Generative AI statement comes less than a month after Aoni production, after one of Japan's highest profile talent agencies for anime voice actors and actresses said it'll be entering a partnership with AI company Cofont to create AI versions of the voices a number of its performers, including Dragon Ball's Goku, which is voiced by Masako Nozawa, for applications in non-acting projects. It's worth noting. It's worth noting, though, that No More Unauthorized Generative AI message is centered on unauthorized and, by extension, non-compensated use, and isn't being framed as a blanket indictment of replicating performers' voices using AI. The complete list of performers that are currently part of the project consists of Michiru Ikemizu, Yoji Ieda, Yuko Kada, Yuki Kaiji, Tomi Kataoka, Mika Kenai, Kujira, Shuhei Sakaguchi, Chika Sakamoto, Shinsuke Sakuis, Yuko Sasaki, Ben Shimada, Yu Shimamura, Tarusuke Shinkaji, Toshihiko Seiki, Ryota Takeuchi, Hiroki Tochi, Ryusei Nakao, Joji Nakata, Daisuke Namikawa, Romi Paku, Rika Fukami, Juna Fukuyama, Katsuhiko Hoki, Mitsuru Miyamoto, and Koichi Yamadera. These members plan to release individual videos expressing their personal feelings on the unauthorized use of voices for generative AI as well. Okay, so here's the thing. Now, you may have known, before James Earl Jones passed away, he gave his blessing for his voice to be used in AI, which would be great for future Star Wars movies. That's great. As long as him and his estate is getting paid royalties for it, I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
that's perfectly fine.
Yes. As you were saying.
I mean, because he's passed away, and even if he said no, I sincerely doubt they would honor his wishes.
Yeah. So basically, if I was a voice actor and I gave my permission for my voice to be done in AI projects, as long as I was getting paid for it, fine. And I know somebody saying, well, you're not working. Well, technically I am. That is still my voice. I worked my arse off doing various voices and characters to be recognized where it can be put into AI. As long as I'm getting paid for it, that's fine by me. And that's basically what they're saying. As long as it's authorized and they're able to make their money off it, it's their livelihood. Their voices are their livelihood. Let them earn a living with their voice. Okay? And the last story is on you, my friend.
Foreign tourist angers locals for doing pull-ups on a torii gate at a Japanese shrine.
I saw that. I got so pissed about that.
As the number of foreign tourists soars to record heights in Japan, so did the number of overseas travelers caught behaving badly during their visits. With higher than usual cases being reported, Japanese media is even coined a term for it, Meiwaku Gaiko Kujin, which translates as to a nuisance foreigner. And the latest crime involves a tourist who was seen doing pull-ups on a torii gate at a Japanese shrine. The incident was captured on film less than a week ago by the woman doing the pull-ups, who shared the video on social media. According to local news reports, the woman is of Chilean nationality and was visiting Japan for sightseeing with her sister when the two of them stopped by a shrine in Sapporo, the capital of Hokkaido, Japan's northernmost prefecture. This is where one of the sisters pulled herself up on a torii gate and performed dance movements to a popular TikTok song. Oh my god. This article just gets worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
With her chin raised above the lower bar. The other sister also shared a video of herself at the shrine, causing an uproar as she performed a handstand at the main torii gate at the entrance to the shrine. They have a shared Instagram account with over 130,000 followers, and this is where they posted the videos of the shrine's visit. It didn't take long for their antics to go viral. Pardon me. With media outlets in the sisters' hometown quickly picking up on the story, with one headline reading, "Anger at a Chilean woman who did pull-ups on a Japanese torii."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's also not just a code of etiquette for these shrines. There's also a legal code that's enforceable by law, as it says. Desecrating places of worship, interfering with a religious service. A person who openly desecrates a shrine, temple, cemetery, or any other place of worship shall be punished by imprisonment for not more than 6 months, or a fine not more than 100,000 yen.
Which is about a little bit over $514.
No, I was looking.
No. I'm looking at something a different article. 514 pounds. $650. Yeah, that's 514 pounds or something like that. Yeah.
A person who interferes with a sermon, worship, or funeral service shall be published for not more than 1 year, or a 100,000 yen fine. I mean, this is the kind of shit that you just don't do, even if you're not a religious person by any stretch of the imagination.
It's one thing where you are an influencer and you're trying to get popular and stuff like that, but there's a thin line that you don't cross. If you want to show off your gains, go to a gym in Japan or do something, or go to a park and film yourself, but don't disrespect the torii gates.
Yeah, this is you want to get internet famous, there are better ways to do it.
Yeah.
This is not one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully they will learn their lesson and they will go back to the gate, to the shrines, and apologize, because they have angered that god. And God don't like ugly. I just went to slide things back over and I stopped the recording by accident. And I just hit it right back up. So it's not a big deal. I can just merge it together. No harm, no foul. So let's go ahead forward on that. See you next week. That's up and running. I have to start getting used to this camera, to this microphone that's right here. You can't tell from the angle, but it's literally in my face, blocking my monitor half the time. Oh, man. Okay. It's time for us to get up on out of here.
Yeah.
If you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up about that. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. And if you want to continue to participate with us and have a good time with us, download our show. You can find us on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you download your podcast. Check it out. Spread the word. And if you can, if it allows you, leave us a review on that podcasting app. We'd love to know what you think. If you can't, drop us an email. And while you're at it, check out our website at animejamsession.com. On our website, you'll find not just our weekly podcast, you will find anime reviews, editorials, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay reviews, links to our social media coverage of conventions and cosplay, all that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. Please check it out. And don't forget to follow us on our social media, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It is all Anime Jam Session. Follow us on those so you know when we're going live, when we have new articles to share, when we have new videos uploaded and new photos to share, all that and then some. And for those of you who follow us already and support us, thank you so much. We really could not do the show without y'all. Now, down below, if you're still in our stream here, you can check out our tip jar. You can click on the link to our Stream Elements, our Streamlabs, or our Ko-Fi, and you can just throw us money, to help keep the show going. If you want, you can always share us on with bits. That does it too. Or you can also give out a gift sub and sub to the channel as well. All of that keeps the site going and then some. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari.
I gotta get up early. I'm not looking forward to it.
I know that feeling. My last words is, I am done, but I need to watch anime. Well, that is it. End of list. Next week, it'll be me and Mako-chan. We'll be talking about DerpyCon. We'll have some news, some articles. We're going to have a good time. So we're hoping that you come back and stick around and join us. And on that note, Ari, you get to sleep. You get some extra sleep next Tuesday night.
Lucky me.
Yeah, lucky you. So I think it's time for us to transform and roll up on out of here. So I'm Ranma.
And I'm Ari.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Ari.
Good night, Ari.
And I, too, will say goodnight, Ranma. Take care, y'all. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!